Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Library Show. Bam, bam. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Check, is this thing on? Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Let's go, baby. Bitcoin getting a bit of a bounce. 113,800. Can we get the move? All the way to 115K. We're seeing some liquidity above us, which we haven't seen in a while. Let's break it down with the screen. With the screen. I'm going to have the screen behind me. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Hey, if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? Let's take a look at what's happening right now here live on BitTinex. I just made a live trade because we crossed the 200 moving average. We touched the 21, and we made ourselves a bit of a flag here. Even with this nasty wick came back upside, I decided this would have to be a call back to the upside. Looking for 115,287 for this move. And that's just my signal. You know my signal by now if you've come to the channel. So we're looking for this long back to the upside here for Bitcoin. We've been waiting to get a nice progressive move above the 200 moving average with the 21. We've got it here. We've got it here. We've gotten my signal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times here without follow through, which is weird because when I get my signal here, see, we got beautiful follow through. Here we got some big, at least pumpage. Here we got some follow through. Here we got beautiful follow through. You see, so I'm not used to that. I'm not used to this. They caught me off guard here. Because my strategy just kept going blip, 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 blip. And now I'm like, okay, are you going to finally let this thing run? Because you run more than you don't. I've backtested you. That's the one thing about backtesting a strategy when there's an anomaly. Every once in a while, the backtest won't be, like, they'll be off of, basically you'll backtest something and say that it's 80%. Then there'll be a day where it doesn't happen 5 times straight, 6 times straight, and it's not 80% right now. Over time, it will reset back to the percentage in which you've backtested it if you give it enough time, more than likely. But right then, it doesn't always have to. And that can throw you off as a trader because now you put in years of data, you've grinded it out, like you know what you know, and then it still kind of plays a little game with you. I'm like, wait, always messes with my mind there. Am I over there? I'm over here. Over here. Hey. Anyway, so you can see the trade starting to rip to the upside. Is it too late to get into the trade? I feel like I would wait for the 3. I would wait for this. I would wait for this, the 3 minute, to do the same type of scenario here so we could get another move further to the upside. That's what I would be looking for, right? Something like this. Again, we haven't been getting this follow through. The 5 minutes been getting rejected by the 200 moving average. Like, this is where we were supposed to get a beautiful move. We did not. We got another scoop down for liquidity. We did create a good amount of shorts here. This kind of has a cup and handle vibe with a dagger to the right. So it's like, we'll see. So to me, it's really about the 3 minute right now. And then can we get the progressive move into the 5 minute time frame? Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Beautiful people. Beautiful people. I had to take that from Face. I love that. I love that he does that. I don't know if he's done it in a while. God bless Face. Somebody said fix the tie. Marcus. Wait. Fix the tie. Tie looks good to me. Tie looks money to me now. What are you talking about over here? Hey. Don't tell me nothing about my tie over here. That's a double Winsy. All right? Don't hey. I look spot on. I like the guy. I like the way that guy looks over there. If I saw that guy walk in a room, I say, hey, how do I dress just like that guy, huh? I bet he gets all the ladies over there. My goodness. My goodness. Would you take a look at that piece of meat over there? Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Tie looks elegant. Nice choice of colors. Shout out to our Armenian friend. God bless you. He had to wine it down for his age. Shout out to Victor Navarro. Shout out to Biscuits, man. I bet you're not using suit pants. I've got pants on. Yeah. I always have pants on. I'm wearing a nice gray pants. Look really nice with blue. You know what I mean? So the gray and the blue, keeping it real, 100%. Dumble Windsor for the Windsor. Exactly. You know how we do, Sonny. Sunny little tree. Hold on, though, because when I dance, sometimes I run. I ran a little bit, and I disheveled myself. A bit here. You ever tucked your suit jacket into your pants? No, but check it out. These pants are spot on. These are nice pants. I only wear the same pants. Chinos from J. Crew. They're the nicest, softest pants you'll ever wear in your life. Anyway, who cares about my pants? Like, apparently everybody. Shout out to the world, though. So we're looking for this move. 1 minute crossing the 200 seems to get the payment. Seems to get us paid. Now, can we make the flag here and continue to the upside? Can we stop playing this game with this little fake out and the breakdown? We cannot go back below the 200 on the 1 minute now. We need a sustained move above. Let's take a look at our bigger time frames. Let's break down what we're seeing for Bitcoin. Let's look at our 2 week, our monthly even, as we're about to close another monthly candle in about 10 days. Can you believe it? How fast these months slide by. So here's the deal. Let's talk about it. Can we just talk, Khalid? Talk about, can we just talk? Sorry. So, Sam, looking like 1 million Satoshis. Hey, I love you, man. See what the market does to Saturday right here. Good morning, everyone. Oh, yeah, I'm absolutely bat out of my mind nuts now. The market has broken my brain. Seriously, though, it's been insane, right? Who here has felt like you've been manipulated, toyed with, messed with, your mind's been shattered, broken, reconstructed? Like, man, I've mental toughness here when it comes to the market. So let's take a look at our monthly. Our monthly had a huge resistance at 72,000. We trucked along below it. Once we got above that, that was it. We came back down to that area. Looks like what was the low on that month was 74.5, and that was the lowest you could have scooped Bitcoin up recently. These two areas here, 49, 79, we bought both of these lows, including this one and this one. We bought all four of those lows and showed you how to do it. We bought whole Bitcoins here, whole Bitcoins down here, 19K, 89, 84,000. Bang, 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 right? Yesterday was so scammy. Oh my God, yesterday was the worst. In and out, you had to be in and out on the 1 minute and grab what you could every single time. If you didn't, it was just up and down, up and down, up and down like a hayride. Insanity. So now we're looking at the bigger picture, and it did turn into a rising wedge. Rising wedges break down 68% of the time. I hate to break it to us, right? Because I'm part of you guys. I hate to break it to you, I could say, but I'm breaking it to me too. So I'm breaking it to us. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to hear bearishness at all when it comes to Bitcoin. I want to be a perma bull. But I can't be what I want to be when I'm trading. I got to be what I got to be. I got to be what the probabilities tell me to be, which is open-minded and believe that anything is possible. So here's the deal. That would be a tweezer top on the monthly. Last time we had it, we did get a bit of a rejection. We did bounce, but we got a bit of a rejection. Tweezer top here, and a tweezer top there. It's almost never seen it. When have we actually got a red candle next to a green candle and pump? You can do it maybe after a massive dump because like nobody cares. Like you've been like, or here we had consolidation right there. It was the only time we had a red candle next. It's a bearish engulfing candle followed by one of the biggest pumps in the world. Isn't that crazy? One of the biggest pumps happened after we had a monthly bearish engulfing candle. Insane, right? We did have wicks to the upside and it didn't break the previous lows. And you were right at previous resistance, which, you got above it. Once this candle got above this resistance, and that's why you play SNR. See, support and resistance players here would have seen, well, the green candle's above the previous resistance. I got to play it now. Will it stop below the support? And bang, it wouldn't have mattered how this candle, right? Anyway, it's good we look at the monthly so we could come back to the trend. Let's look at, bullish bearish scenarios, meaning the worst case, that keeps us on trend. You come back to the trend line, 102,000. To me, you can't take out that low there at 83 on the monthly, right? That's going to be the monthly uptrend. You cannot take out 80K. 80K would mean the end of the bull run. You have higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Some people believe we're going somewhere to $400,000. Da Vinci, the guy who claimed, who called $1 Bitcoin when it was $1. That Bitcoin was probably likely going to some huge heights and said, just buy some Bitcoin. It's only $1. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just telling you what he said years ago. And, he's predicting a $400,000 Bitcoin in a super cycle. Honestly, what if the monthly does something like this? It is bearish. We do get a pullback. But we never break this support at 102,000 on the monthly. 100K becomes very strong. 21-day moving average comes up. 1, 2, 3, 4. January 26, we start to break out. We don't get the rate cuts. It becomes a dismal October. Nothing happens the way they said it is. We go sideways. we do is we go to a low of 109 and we bounce back to 118, 120, back to 110, back up to 117, and we start to consolidate tight on the monthly. And then the monthly explodes from January to April to about 170K. Therefore, we would have a Fibonacci retracement, 115. You know, we got to pull out the idea, if you really go to 400K, how is that going to happen? For me, then you would be pulling another fib and you'd come back down here and then have another leg up. I'm just going to build out, you know, and again, we're just highly speculative here, but, and then I'd pull another fib here and say we just kept like respecting the fibs or making just, you know, we have even been making bullish flags even. Say we get real bullish there. Sorry. There we go. I want to move this. Yeah. And we make like some type of bull flag. I mean, this is the monthly. And we have some type of like blow off top because it's just like people just want it so bad. And so that's October of 29. I mean, you know what I mean? Even if things go so amazingly well and you get these like boom, boom, boom. And, you know, here, if you came back down to this retracement, then you boomed out. Yeah, so you're talking like 2029, just, you know, and everyone's saying $1 million Bitcoin by 2030, but like, I don't know, I played the charts, man. Just where does this massive just, you know, fine, we get a blow off top here to 176. Then you're lucky to go sideways, and then you get just another blow off top. Then you go sideways, and say you go straight up, like the most parabolic Bitcoin's ever been in its life. Like say you just go straight on a straight mission. Candles still got to go next to each other, right? So like 1 green candle, 2 green candle, 3 green candle, 4 green candle. Like it still says January of 27, like to get to 340,000. See what I'm saying? That's if you just go on a moon mission like that never ends. Like just, you know what I mean? We just go straight. And that never happens. There's pullbacks along the way. So I don't know. I'd be wary of these like large, these people saying we're going to these massive places. For me, this chart's starting to look kind of cooked, right? I'd love to believe it. Everyone wants to just, you know, moon mission, it's going up. Just keep telling everyone that's where, you know. Anyway, he's credible, so people are starting to hear this and listen. $400,000. And maybe, I'm open-minded, maybe there's a super cycle, but show me the charts. Like, show me how we're getting there in that span of time. Are the charts just going to do something we've never seen, just straight green candles for months straight? And I'm saying, even if we get that, like, May of 2026 to 350, like how, like June, August, September, like, you know? So right now, rising wedge of the monthly, but again, I'm highly speculating there. Let's slow it down and just look at what we're looking at. So right now on the monthly, we can see 182,762.85 cents if we break out of the rising wedge. I would not want to see this monthly close with this big wick. I'd like this to rip up green and eat most of this wick up, you know, maybe even come further up and come back down and, you know, just change its trajectory. But I'd like to see the monthly candle break. I'd like to see something big happen in the next 10 days that turns this green. Otherwise, I'd have to start saying that we're going to break down. Head to the 21, head to the beginning of where we began, which is 82,000. Even pull a fib and say, hey, maybe we bounce off 92K. So this is your most bearish scenario here for Bitcoin, is this closes tweezer tops. Every time we've seen it on the monthly, we've pulled back. I'm just showing you. Right there we did. Right there. Every time a red candle close to the right of a green candle on the monthly, you've had a problem. It hasn't been like, okay, this is great. So I just want to show you this. I don't want to be the rudest man in the world. I don't want to be the bearer of bear news. I just want to show you what it is. We take a look at the 2-week chart. Le 2-week. Le weekly. Le 2 week. So the 2 week chart, right? It's saying, hey, it's not the worst. It's not the best. You got to just clean up your act. And it's saying, hey, you're teetering on support here. You basically can't lose this wick. Let's take a look. On the 2 week chart, you can't be closing the candle below this wick here. See this wick right there? That dagger? 112.350. You start getting into this zone. You start closing the 2 week candle here. I mean, you're testing this support at 108. And you got to start thinking you're going to come back to 104. And then you got to start looking at 101. Resistance, support right there. Very strong on the 2 week. So there's some support and resistance here. It's not like it's a fall. It's a, we're going to fall right through. But definitely, so yeah. I can see a bearish scenario where we dump pretty fast. And we're not out of the water yet. Like the bulls haven't made a candle or changed the TA in a way that says, hey, the probability has switched this way now. We could possibly, right now, this is what we're looking at. Bearish engulfing too on the 2 week, as you can put this candle inside of that one, right? So moving forward, now we're in the weekly. The weekly is important. You can clearly see that major resistance. We really needed to close that weekly candle above. It was insane when that thing just, and I call it the devil ear. I mean, it made devil's ears. Look at that. I mean, just, and it's also cat ears that say they dump too. So I guess, and we dumped after the, just like it looked like we would. I mean, and just wick it. Even if you knew nothing. You took my course. If you take my course right here that I teach the last Saturday of every month, which is coming up next weekend, a weekend after this, right? That'll blow your mind. And I'm going to teach you even just the beginning stages of looking at candles and the probability of what candles are going to do based on just the wicking. And when you have 2 wicks like that, I mean, wow. At least we have some wickage back to the upside, and we're kind of stuck in a range, right? Resistance at 119, support somewhere at 112. And we've bounced off 112 a few times now. We've wicked up to it, and people are front-running this support at 109,000. They're basically front-running 109. They're like, well, we might not get there, so I'm going to buy early. Every time I waited, I got dumped, and I didn't get the price I wanted. So I'm going to stop waiting and get, every time I was told we were going down to, 60, 57, we bounced off 77. And when we said we were going back to 75, we bounced off 100K. And when they said we get back to 100, we bounce off 113. That's what they're thinking in their minds. So you have to remember, there's a lot of FOMO. Don't forget the power of all the people on the sidelines that didn't get into Bitcoin at 15, 20, 49, 89. Even people that watched my channel when I bought 89,000 and said they would, but they didn't. They said they'd buy 90, but they didn't. They kept saying something was going to happen, but then they went on vacation. Then they bought a motorcycle. Then they bought a boat. They had all these reasons for why they didn't get into Bitcoin. Now they're sitting on the sidelines. The boat broke down. They crashed the motorcycle. And they're saying, dang, I probably should have bought some Bitcoin. Now I got a cool toy that was fun at the time, but I got no assets in my name. I don't feel confident about myself financially, and I'm lost in the sauce like 95% of the world. The key is to get yourself financially free. Then you can start buying toys here and there. You know what I mean? People want all the toys, but they don't want to do the work. They want to drive the Escalade, but they don't want to go day in and day out and live stream till they're blue in the face. You see what I'm saying? They want all these beautiful things in life, but they will not grind for them. It's just the key for whatever reason. Get ready for the big pump next week, going into the low volume weekend. Yeah, been a while since I watched Lifer. Always one of my favorite guys in the crypto. Hit the like. Shout out to Kryptonite. God bless you. Thank you for jumping on in. And let's get those likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. And so look, I mean, just a nothing burger again today. No follow through with any of the trading. It's just been completely just really, really tough on any, small time frame. I guess you could have caught the long there and then sniped it. And it's not over yet. We're still possibly making a flag, but there's just no follow through. The last 4 or 5 days, everyone waiting on this Jackson Hole event. Really want to hear what he has to say and what's going to happen. It's like the hawkishness is out. I've never seen so much hawkishness. So the weekly, it attempted to form some support there at 114. You can see it. And it lost 114. This weekly candle closes below where these two candles, and you have to start saying that you're going to test 109. All right, that's just kind of, That's just what the TA says. I'm not telling you, I'm not trying to be like, you know, the black swan here. I'm just saying, hey, that's what the TA says. It says, hey, you'll go back down here to 109,241. That's where your weekly support will be. 3-day, like we show you, and the daily is attempting some type of double bottom here. It's attempting some form of hope. It closes tomorrow night. The daily, signs of hope yesterday, signs of hope today with a bit of a wick. Can we get the bounce? Higher low, bit of a double bottom. I mean, that's, you know, for me, though, it also, look, I mean, an Adam and Eve double top, right? A gap in the VRVP, you lost the point of control. 200 moving average awaiting, 104,005. Let's take a look at BOOKMAP. BOOKMAP tells you where the liquidity lies. And for the first time in a while, we have more liquidity to the upside than to the downside. It has shifted. Yesterday, it was farther down. It was deep red down here. Now the shorts have flipped to the top. And they're liquidated at 114,230, 240, and 115,120. That's where we see most of the short liquidity. Again, doesn't mean they could be right and we could still pummel. It's not 100%, but it's just showing you where the liquidity lies here on BOOKMAP. Bitcoin, to me, looking bearish. For me, there's some key levels that we got to get above on the smaller local time frames. I'm going to talk about it right now. Otherwise, I can't really flip bullish. I've attempted to catch my signal a few times, which is just me getting in and out on a signal, which really isn't me like overall. Like I might call a long one day, even when I see we might be going down overall, but I'm just catching the signal, right? Like right there, resistance at 115,000. Really resistance right there at like 114. Very oversold on the 12-hour and above the 200 moving average. And I've been really keen on the 8-hour and the 8-hour 200. We've been battling with it. There's a chance that this holds. We stay above it and we actually pump back to the upside. You know, I simplify things for myself when they get crazy. That is a falling wedge. Falling wedges break up 68% of the time. This is supposed to break up. Like most of the time, this should break up. Just if we zero in. Stochastics are low and pushing. RSI got pretty low. MACD wants to turn. You're above the 200 moving average. Show me the money, baby. You could say we're now making a slanted, drunken, inverted head and shoulder. Shoulder. Head, bit of a right shoulder. There's the cup and the handle. Can we get the breakout is the question. 4 hours a little overbought than you'd want it to be after coming back from the depths, right? And getting rejected by, look at that, 114,003. So for me, if you can't get back above 114,300, expect more downside. And I raise it up a little bit here. Just see this level right there, 114.8. 750. Bounce. That's where we double bottomed. Resistance. And so to me, you're still inside this channel. We're still bearish. And this could easily make a right shoulder and dump in your face. You see? So like for me, I would not want to really even long until we get above this support or resistance level. Then, if I see my model on the 1 minute or something, I'd be more avid. Other than that, it's looking like we're going to struggle sideways and possibly go lower. Pretty simple for me. 114.8 is the gateway for more to the upside. And it just I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind. When you're bearish, it's going to tell you that you're bearish. Look at this. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. Like, to me, it looks like we're going to continue to roll over until we don't. Like, you're going to have to break the previous low and make a retest bounce. You could even wait for here and get in here because this would now solidify it wasn't a fluke. It was the first start in the uptrend. Bitcoin's been struggling. It lost the 200 moving average on the 1 hour and has continued to make lower lows. It's in a macro downtrend, as you can clearly see. These small time frames have to break the trend first. Once they break the trend, we can begin to rebuild. But until then, it's not going to happen. I like how people think that TA is like some magical thing that just goes on, but there's really a way to track it. Just like when you walk down a path and you have to step on each stone and it's a physical walkway, there's a physical walkway to trading. Like they're physical blocks that are created through that visually, we see them visually. They're on a screen visually. I know you can't hold them in your hand. I guess you could print them out 3-dimensionally and play with them. But so your idea is this you'd like to see this break back to the upside, right? Trying to get this thing to do its thing, crack the 200 moving average. And that's all well and good. That's what but it's looking more like it may make a right shoulder and dump on us like it's been doing. Shoulder, head, right shoulder, shoulder, head, right shoulder. If I match them. But you can clearly see what's been going on here as we bleed slowly down. So now you can see, just like here, couldn't get above this, expect more downside, never did. Continuing to make lower highs. You must crack through. So to get to the 200 moving average on the 1 hour, you've got to get through the 15-minute 200 moving average, which we just coincidentally, ever so slightly, as you can see, just got completely annihilated by, and this has been happening over and over and over again. Any long that I open, anytime I scalp lately, it's been whoop boop, whoop boop, whoop boop, whoop boop, whoop 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 whoop. Just look at the trash we've been trading since Tuesday, since the dump into Tuesday. And even before that, look at the trash we were trading there. And again, right shoulder, dump to the downside. The shorts are in command here. And look like shorting the market is just what you got to do. The trend is to the downside. The strangest thing is I feel like the second it's heavy short will rip right back to the upside. So right now, look at the 15-minute pointing down on the stochastics RSI. Overbought on the Stokes. And getting rejected by the 200 moving average. Bear City. Rejected by the 200 moving average on the 5 and the 15-minute. As I heard my stop got taken out. So look at that. Done. Right? Cooked. Rejection by the 200 moving average there on the 5-minute time frame. Well, look at the 1-minute. Same thing. Things are going well. Every single time I said, we'll look for the signal to play out. No, we gave back the 200 right after we got above it. Over and over again now. This has been a reoccurring trend. Something I haven't seen in a while. This is my signal that I play out, and it works so well because we would dump, we'd cross, we'd get the pump and reversal. I'd call almost every reversal. This is a struggle. We are struggling to reverse. So I'm a bear. And I said I was a bear to my trading group until we get above 114,008. I see no reason to long this market. And I would stay inside of my shorts. No pun intended. It's hot out here. Keep your pants on. No, but seriously, below the 200 moving average. Look at that. That's just garbage. Look, another head and shoulder. This is head and shoulder time. I've never seen so many. It's just like dump city for Bitcoin. So it's bear time. If you're looking for a short now, I guess you're looking for the 1 minute to turn it into a bear flag. Hit the 21-day moving average and continue down. Like, we got to really just get into bear mode, I guess. It is what it is. The long stopped working a couple days ago. And so I'm a long trader. I noticed my long bias was fighting. And so I'm done. I'm not going to go against the grain until we'd have to do something like this, and take out this low. Show me that you're going to change trend. Until then, no way. So we'll see. Only time will tell, but it's kind of the same way back and forth here for Bitcoin. So there's the analysis for BTC. The 8-hour must hold the 200 moving average. Like, that's like the saving grace here. And right now we're losing it again. Toying right near it, though. We're not completely gone. We got to close the candle below it to make it happen. And then I'm just more bearish that this is going to make a bear flag. Why would I change? What in the price action is telling me that the probability is to the upside? You see what I'm saying? I'm showing you how to read probability. I'm not telling you how to be biased and tell yourself what you want to tell. Like you should get to the same conclusion as me. Look what we're seeing. And all of a sudden they'll rip this thing right back to the upside. It's possible. I would watch the 30-second 200 moving average. I mean, wow, when you dump like that, though, look at that. That's just liquidation center right there. So resistance at 114.4, yeah. At 114,000. Exactly. Reliable J, my man. God bless you. Short squeeze will turn you bullish tomorrow. It just may. We may get a short squeeze, and I may flip bullish. We'll see. If we get back above a 200 moving average on like the 15-minute, I would get bullish. Like today, we started to pump. Everything looked like we may get the move. Not so much. Look at that stochastic on the 15. We even had bullish divvy there holding us down. Can we double bottom right here on the 15-minute? There's a chance. See if we can dig in here. 113,000. Can we hold? We do have more liquidity. Big Red wants to go up. Someone says dumping into Powell's speech. Yeah, so Jerome Powell, let's talk about kind of the news today. We had unemployment claims coming in at 235,000 when it was forecasted 226. So more people are unemployed now than before. Less people want to work. Are there less jobs? Right? And remember the jobless, the other thing, the jobs openings had more job openings than forecast. And that says, is that good or does that mean it's harder to find work? So, but there's more people unemployed than before. It's getting tight. I mean, I'm telling you right now, they're not, money is losing value at a fast rate. Businesses are, can't pay for the same things. Things are going up in value. I talked to a guy doing floors right now. He said something that cost him $11 is costing him $18 now. He said he booked the job to the customer 3-4 months ago and, put it out there. And then when the job was solidified, he lost $4,000 immediately because the materials had gone up that much more when he booked the job out. Not his fault. He was just doing his thing. He never expected inflation. And again, it doesn't always hit that fast, but there's these moments where it does. And so materials are going up for these contractors that are building homes. My home right now is, had to be fixed. Almost, $40,000 worth of damage. It's crazy from a leak from the AC condensation, we're guessing. Insanity. I got home from being away from 2 months to seeing water everywhere. It was absolute insanity. So, but it is what it is. You get through these times and you go through it. So, lots of work-capable people still being paid unemployment since COVID. Congress did not close that loophole. UPS fired 20,000, it says. Yeah. If people believe bull market is over, then you should sell. Honestly, tariff or no tariff, if there was no tariffs at all, it wouldn't matter. Because I never said the bull market was over. See, when I get bearish, I think people think I think the bull market's over. I'm not saying, even if we dump down, I'm not saying the bull market is over. We'd have to really break trend pretty fast. Bitcoin showing signs of life here. And I guess I should always just remain the perma bull that I am. Trade that 200 moving average. But every time, I don't trust it anymore. I really don't. Not until we get above 14.8, 114,800. Trump is doing a fantastic job. Somebody said, I'm just reading. I don't even mean, sometimes I just read what I say. So how do tariffs don't matter? Because we already are paying a vig on the money. Like we already owe money. You see what I'm saying? Like they print our money to zero. You see what I'm saying? Like even if there was no tariffs, we've had heavy inflation. Congress keeps voting in debt. And it doesn't matter, Republicans and Democrats. I'm going to call, they both spend tons of money. They both increase the deficit. Till we find a new way to use money, which we are, possibly we could through cryptocurrency. There's there has to be something new, something different. Cryptocurrency possesses a new idea, a new way, another avenue, a new road that we may be able to go down, right? So there I am, Sammy Bear. Sammy is a bear. Let's take a look at the possible bullish scenario. Let me see if I can flip bullish and see if there's anything that gets me cooking. The only thing that I really truly believe could, or that I'm looking at right now, that I have some faith in, is that 8-hour 200 moving average. We stay above the 800, 200 moving average, and we have ourselves a bit of a chance here, in my humble opinion, to continue to cook. We lose the 8-hour 200. We close 1 or 2 candles below it. There have been pit stops there, but it's most likely we start going down to the 10-hour 200 and then to the 12-hour 200 moving average, which is going to bring you somewhere down to 111.6. You lose that, then you're headed down to the 22 and then to that daily 200 moving average, which is, at that point, it will kind of move up as we come down, but it'll meet somewhere at 104,000. The bullish scenario, which looks bleaker and bleaker every time I look at it, is that somehow we bounce here. I know this turns into some type of inverted head and shoulder. We get out of this mess, I just sound like I'm building hopium there. And then we have previous support, previous resistance, which is support now. And can the daily hold the double bottom? So it's really all about this daily. And the daily looks pretty bearish right now, too. About to make a bearish engulfer. And that's an Adam and Eve double top. Look at it. I mean, you can see it. A gap of the VRVP. A bunch of liquidity right here suggests that we are going further to the downside. It is what it is. So, Sam, these lower price Bitcoin statements are scaring the kids. Exactly. Sir, could you look at total 3 at a free time? What do you think about a cup and handle? We'll look at it. Look at my macro videos every Friday. That will kind of tell you what I'm looking at. Daily below the 50 MA is bearish. We're sitting right below a monthly measured move. Servando que pasta, amigo. Hey. We don't go that low before a liquidation pump. Killed my $500 ornament plant. I don't know. What does that mean? You're funny. 8-hour candle close in about an hour. A single bull flag pull on the monthly chart gets us to 400K in log scale. Yeah, in log scale. Fighting the 200 moving average. KERNEL Dow, the strongest coin of the game right now. KERNEL. Let's take a look at that because we have looked at KERNEL on and off. And, DJI 6930 finally getting a bit of a pump. I do own it, so I'm bringing it up. Trying to put it out there. Hey. But it did get a bit of a pump. At least off the lows, I looked at KERNEL with that alert recently, and it has been just completely sideways, which is strong compared to the rest of the market. But I don't trust anything when Bitcoin gets shaky. But yeah, so far, Dow, these DAOs are good. These, TVL use case. So if people were, voting on it, wanting to use their voting power and getting some APY, then yeah. I'd watch KERNEL, the alerts on it now there, and we can stay in tune to what's happening. Target would be 41 cents for KERNEL. Thank you for lightening up the load there, giving us something to kind of talk about for a moment. As the market gets shifty, we go from alt season being amazing to everyone not really sure what's about to happen. The bot, it bought the low there on the long at 117. It bought the low there at 115. Now it's probably going to have to buy the low yet again. That's what it will do. It will mitigate its way on out. And that's kind of what the bot, there it is, bought a beautiful low and got out in and out. That was a really nice night. This thing trades for itself. MINOTAUR Trading Systems. Hit the link, all right, in my description. I also have it right here. Just book a call. Ask them about it if you want. Even if you just, ask some information about a bot and you never, just ask them some. You might farm some info, Go on to find something else and do whatever, Dark Knight says, can you pump the market for me? I cannot, buddy. I wish I could. He says, he almost demands it. He says, pump the market for me. Not even can. He says, pump the market for me. I wish I could, brother. Yeah. Jackson Hole is the pivot. Could be up and down. Yeah, you can see the entire week is waiting on Powell, who speaks tomorrow in Jackson Hole. And it has been, and that's at 10 a.m. too, right? As we start the stream. I don't know if we're going to want to listen to his spiel or just kind of watch the target. I guess we'll have him playing in the background. I don't know. But yeah, and everyone said the market would be short all week before Jackson Hole. That was the presumed idea, and that's exactly what happened. Just days of dumpage ever since the high, too. All-time high dumpage. Shorting every all-time high has been paid in the shade every single time. If you shorted the all-time high, the market says right now not to leave the short just yet. It says there definitely could be more downside. Could be more payday. I mean, that is an Adam and Eve double top. They're normally like this, but it doesn't mean they can't be like that. The length there to the downside. And the thing is, that would be a pretty nasty measured move if it did go down like that. And there we are, the daily 200 moving average. Hopefully we wouldn't be able to take out the low at 101,000 and 101.5 would be the front run bounce. What if we make a right shoulder? You see what I'm saying? Like, these are all possibilities. I'm not trying to scare everyone. I just want to let you know that anything is possible in this world. Don't tell yourself you're guaranteed a thing. Trade exactly what it is, one step at a time. Yeah. I mean, I could be a perma bull and just say, hey, you know what? This is definitely a double bottom. We're all long right now with a stop below that wick. No fear. We're going to bounce like you read about. We're gone. See, if you just tuned in right now and you didn't see anything and you just heard that, you'd be like, oh, this guy's a perma bull. Cup and handle to the upside. No fear, guys. Support and resistance. We're gone. We have no stress. We're going to bounce so hard, it's going to be ridiculous. Look at the next 5 days. We are going to flatten all those shorts back to 123, baby. That's possible. It is. Let's see. What happens today is crucial. If this candle flips green. If we get above like the 200 moving average on the 15-minute. That would change my story a little bit here. Here we are with the 1 minute back again on the 200 moving average. Can you get the move? It keeps, that's the first thing. Then the 3, then the 5, and the whole thing starts all over again. We just did it with a 5-minute rejection. Now we're going to go back up again with low stochastics. Might be crossing. Sup what Toshi's saying. Some bullish through all this, yeah. Just use your 40K water damage insurance money to buy Bitcoin. Then lay on the wet carpet with orange laser eyes. No, how it works is the guy comes and starts fixing your house because your house is in shambles. They do water mitigation immediately, put holes in the wall, and start using fans. At that point, you're in $5,000 already, and then you start fixing the home. Then the adjustment guy comes in, and there's already things everywhere. You're already in $10,000, man. Obviously, you don't know how home ownership works. When you finally get the claim, if you do, because then the insurance company said no, and they blocked the insurance claim to me, right? So what happened then is you get a public adjuster, and you send a public adjuster after the insurance company explaining that their findings are not the conclusive findings. That goes on back and forth till one of them wins, and then from there, if I do win, then I will get the money for the claim. But insurance basically works like this. You don't get the money, right? They pay. They legally pay whoever I hired to do the work. And they make me pay $10,000, $10,000 in deductibles. So if there's $50,000 in damage, I pay $10,007. and hopefully it gets covered. Anyway, no one seems to know about my homeowner's insurance, but that's life right now. All right. Yeah, the guy is, yeah, exactly, 100%. You get a draw on somebody. This is just chop until the morning. JP will move the market. 100%, something will happen. I agree with what that man just said, chop until the morning. Like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we just do this for the next 10 to 20 hours, 15 hours. But to me, even that is bearish. Sideways movement now is bearish. The bulls have to pull off a win. They got to get back above that high there. The 1 hour has to push through a previous resistance and hug a higher low. Otherwise, we are cooked, as they say. Absolutely cooked. The one big hope here is that we got some red coming in. We didn't have that yesterday on BOOKMAP, so there's a chance we could get the reversal. It's up there. It's up in the air. But there's no guarantees here for BTC. Shout out to the 1,400 beautiful souls here on the live. 393 likes, $629 in chat revenue. Thank you for everyone being here and kicking it with the lifer. Funny, we had a few streams in the last few weeks that were pumping 2,000 people. So many super chats because we were just absolutely ripping to a new all-time high. Things were getting insane. And then we had the altcoins ripping. People were sending it, and then ever since that, man, and then all of a sudden just a $10,000 dump for Bitcoin back to 112K. I mean, insane, right? And then the whole market quiets down, altcoins, and the super chats are quiet, less enthusiasm, everything kind of calms down. The Google search isn't as, and then it's just, it's interesting, right? Yeah. I love crypto, but this is really bad. The ones with billions steal your money. They do, though. You know what I'm saying then? Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I got to tell you, the markets have spoken to me. Definitely more bearish than bullish. Okay. Guess what we got to wait for? The 50 to get tight with the trend. Yep. Bullish on the lifers. Best in the game. Shout out to Mr. Butters. During these trying times, I'm glad I'm in the 99. Shout out to Andrew Yurkovic. That's why you don't let the remediation company start. Hire some guys and save yourself the aggravation. Yep. I did. I hired my buddy. It's all rigged. You need to ride the wave 100%. Diamond hands always win. Shout out to Omar Lopez, 100%. What's interesting to me is how many sectors are decentralizing: finance, gaming, AI, RWA, insurance, energy, DAO governance. There's no stopping. Yeah, there's no reason why it shouldn't, right? Mr. Butters, I know, right? I have a deep appreciation for the 99 when times are tough. It's easy to win when everything is going up. Yeah. I lost my house because of getting, I'm sorry to hear that. First American home warranty. I grabbed for my Airbnb and they cover repairs for the home and appliances. 120 service fee and the rest is covered. My AC unit has a limited coverage with their plan. I like to hear that. I might look at that, Mikoic. Sam, the most genuine man I know. Can you go old school and check out some? Has MOS finally bought them? Thank you. Love you, man. Shout out to Lance. Shout out to Lance with the $10 super chat. Let's look at MSOS for Lance here. And is that Advisor Shares? Pure US? Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Cannabis ETF. And we'll get it there on the New York ARCA. I mean, yeah, it looked like it definitely did. Look at the way it's looking. I mean, it's doing my thing. It's making the flag on the daily above the 200 moving average. Very bullish sign. Let's take a look at it here on the 4-hour time frame. I mean, the 4-hour looks nice too. It's on, the only thing it's a little spread, like the 21 and the 200 are far, but that means it's just getting ready for possible consolidation. It could even pump, honestly. I see sideways or pump. I don't see a dump coming. Personally, previous resistance, it used that as support now at about $4.20. Isn't that interesting? $4.20. But it's holding $4.23 there now. And let's take a look at the 1-hour time frame. 1 hour looks interesting. Can't wait for you to come home, man. Come on home, man. Won't be too long from now, man. We'll be kicking it. It'll feel like yesterday. It'll feel like tomorrow. Possible inverted head and shoulder on the 1 hour. This thing looks interesting to me. Looks like it could do some damage. Just needs to go sideways for a little bit. I would say, yeah, I mean, look at the Adam and Eve double bottom. This is what we just showed you on Bitcoin, which this is why I don't like. These things are pretty hardcore indicators here. See how it double bottomed right there too? Bitcoin's on one of these though on the daily. Hoping that daily can hold us down. And remember, the measured move of that double bottom is there just to kind of go over this, because we're all learning patterns together, right? Right like that. And then you consolidate near the 21 at the high volume node. Look at that beautiful gap on the VRVP. The point of control at $7 and $7.88 is a bigger target. Looks pretty interesting to me, my friend. You might be spot on here. Let's look at Canopy Grove, which I haven't looked at in a long, long time. Wow, this gives me the chills. This basically started my whole life, man. Changed my whole life. $2014. Look at that. That was 11 years ago. Insane, right? I get the shudders when I think about my trading life and what has happened to me over time. I mean, I don't know. This looks horrible, right? This looks absolutely in the dumpers. The ETFs look okay. This might have slightly bottomed. But this thing looks, I don't know, it's like almost like they gave up on it. Looks like it could get a cup and handle bounce when the whole market gets a bit of a bounce, but I don't know. I like things with strength. The ETF shows strength. Anyway. When crypto goes, man, I'm going to laugh so hard because everyone has to have some common sense of reality. It's only up only, but that can't happen. What goes up must come down eventually. Shout out to Bravo J. 100%. You got to be open-minded and just look at it for what it is, 100%. Everyone thinks it's up only, but it just isn't. Not the case. Remember, the last time we looked at the price action, we said it's dumping, it's likely making a bear flag, and it's going to dump down the bear flag, right? And there she goes, headed down to 112,300, just like my man just said here. Wichita, Kansas, you're funny. You remember that, don't you? Nobody to buy, too risky, probably not liquid. And I like to buy the lows. I know as the lows are. I knew when the big lows were, and I had a lot of demand there. I don't have demand right now. I'm waiting to see if there's better prices. I'm just kind of taking a piece here and there, right? If we're really speaking facts, the big drops are almost as crazy as the pumps, 100%. Kurt on base will be a win, maybe. There's no way to tell what will happen. Never, in a prime example, I studied trading for 15 years. Not one soul could tell you the real outcome. It's always a bit different than what really happens. 100%. You see it for what it is. It's what you learn. This is it. What he just said is right, but let me teach you. So here's the deal. You first get into the markets and you know, maybe you get into the bottom, maybe you get into the top. Some people get into the top and it starts to dump right after they get in, and they go through pain right after they get into a market. Some people will get in and they go through big euphoria and then they go through pain, right? Then they're in again and they go through euphoria and then they go through pain. I've been through it 3 times now, right? So now by this time, once there's even some euphoria, you start selling a little early. And yes, by the time you know what you're doing, you're going to sell early. So you go from holding and losing, selling a little bit, but maybe not, too late, to then just starting to sell when the market is getting overheated. Now, there could be more left in here, but you just know it's time to pay the trader here and there. And so what happens is, and then when the market gets really low, you don't know when the bottom is, but you know that you should start taking bigger buys near these areas because you can feel it, because you've been here before. So what happens is you never get better at predicting the markets. You just actually are able to listen to when you're overheated and oversold better than ever. And so that's how I was able to buy 15,000. right? $19,000 Bitcoin. I didn't know for sure it was the bottom, and there's no guarantees, but what we did know was compared to all the other times of my life of betting in these markets, and this is after being in there 10, 15, almost 20 years, you know, and I did this with the stock market too. So I was trading the stock market before I did my crypto cycles. So I had been through multiple cycles, okay? And I had understood the way markets kind of had made me bend and weave and the way they move my emotions. So no, you're never going to know exactly when to buy or sell. What you're going to do is you're just going to get better at understanding where the areas are the premiums and the discounts are, and understanding when to take better advantage of them. I tend to nail the bottoms pretty dang well, right? You guys watch me on the channel. We've done pretty dang good, right? So the better I predict, the worse I trade. Funny. There's actually a massive gap to 6.5 of the MOSS of the daily from the election win. Yeah, I've seen that. Isn't that interesting? 400 likes is a joke. Let's get them up, says Jamie Zeno. Hey, yeah, shout out to everybody here on the live. Let's go, baby. Let's get the energy up. Just because we're showing you that we could possibly go down, get the energy up. It's okay. People click off from bearish news. They want it all up only. They're like, no, this market's going up. So what happened today in the news? Well, YZY coin came out. All right, just, one thing. Take it what you will. Went up to a $3 billion market cap, sitting right below $1 billion now. It's kind of one of the biggest stories. Came out of nowhere, too, when you think about it. Quant, attempting to hold some gains. KuCoin shares Radium. Atom at 450, ain't too bad. Chainlink really takes the cake, holding pretty nicely compared to the rest of the market. Got a little bit of a bounce at DJI 6930, nothing crazy. OKB continues to kick butt. All right. And Sol at 180 ain't bad. This thing just absolutely skyrocketed. And I believe it's the OKX token, I'm pretty sure, right? That's what OKB is. That's what I'm pretty, by the OKB Blockchain Foundation and Maltese Crypto OKX, right? Currently ranked 3rd in liquidity, 4th in trading volume, and provides a wide selection of trading pairs. It's been around a long time, OKX, for sure. So their token just absolutely mooned, right? And BNB hitting a fresh new all-time high, too. Let's take a look. Exchange-based tokens. I made a lot of money on exchange-based tokens. They're simple. People buy them to get less fees. The exchanges are hot. There's utility right there. Second the exchange comes out and makes a coin, it's got utility immediately. People barely can find utility for half these ideas and projects, right? They have awesome, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, but they can't even, it's going to take 3 years to get to stage 5, and by that time, the bull market's over. A lot of these coins need way more incubation periods, and then once the bull market's going, nobody cares, and there's not enough money to incubate them anymore, and it's all a speculative coin grab. See, when this all started, I thought we were building, and we were, and there was building going on, and there always is some building behind the scenes, but at the end of the day, people are building to set up a project that can make money. That's it. That's the only reason people are building. So we gave you this trade here at BNB back at 645, if you remember, here on the channel and in the trading group. We've been talking about these highs and looking for 1,000. That looks like it could break out parabolically to the upside to $1,075. BNB looking pretty dang strong. OKB's everywhere too. MEXC's got it. And funny, we looked at it back here, said it looks like it could go up further to the upside. OKB. Someone in my trading group liked it, and I put this out. I said, looks like it could go to 130 from 109. This thing never looked back and continued to pump. People were trading it in the group. Wow, that thing went all the way to 2. That's insane what it did. I found a little flag there. 88 to 230. Basically just did almost a 4x on MEXC. Not even on just OKB. So this is insanity. And I did give that little flag. I'm not going to say I had the perfect. I did give a really good entry, though, that never looked back. Pumped to the upside. Someone was looking at it in the trading group. It was ladies like, I like this trade. OKB. I said, I see some movement here. And OKB pumps to the upside nicely. Pretty dang nice. OKB. So there's always seems to be gains here in crypto no matter what. Look at that. That's insane. Absolutely beautiful. And they're one of the largest exchanges. Their blockchain doesn't. Yeah, exactly. The crypto endgame is decentralized cryptography. Yeah. If you ever do a macro fib on XRP weekly, it's awesome. Thank you for saying that. We'll take a look. Okay. So, massive liquidations. Jer Powell fear. Everybody wondering what's going to happen tomorrow at Jackson Hole. And that's kind of the talk of the town today for what's going down. All right. Down 0.2, up 8, 1%, and you do you. I don't know what that means, but yeah, I hope so. Whatever you say. Whatever that guy said over there. Follow me at CryptoLifer33. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. You can even see how I grill my steaks and get it in. We started with some beautiful ribeyes. Look at these puppies. Things were nice, right? Nice chunky steaks. Put them in the grill. Look at that. Look at those. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Beautiful char. Absolutely great taste. My wife was impressed, as she usually is, with the steaks. God bless you, baby. And there, you never know what's going on. Crazy. Beef gains, baby. Beef gains. Look at that. We talked about steak and the viewership went up immediately. Crazy. So, is there more for OKB? Honestly, I'll be looking at the daily time frame, and I'd have to tell you that's unsustainable. I would be pulling a fib right now and waiting for it to come back to a 618 and back to the 21-day moving average. I would be getting out as soon as I could, taking my profits. A lot of people are going to get sucked in and keep going in right now, and they may get a quick little ride towards the top, but they're just getting the last bits of the pie. They're not getting the meat and potatoes. Good morning, Sam. Tried to sign up for Classic Saturday, but it was full. Is there any chances I can attend? I'll ask my wife when she says it, because usually it shouldn't be full. Samir Abdin. Should not be full. You should be able to get into class. You can email CryptoLifers@gmail and ask them what's happening. Why can't you get into class? They'll figure it out. Team, what's going on? He can't get into class. Jamie, Sean, alert my wife, please. Anyone that listening, Lakochi. Find out why this young man can't get into class. Samir, we'll get you into class immediately. Thank you so much for that super chat. And I'm sorry you had to send a super chat to find out, but I appreciate you taking that upon yourself. Smart move. So yeah, we see Bitcoin. We don't see why it's not going lower, right? We just don't see why. We saw a bear flag form there. Another 200 moving average. Look at death cross there on the 1 minute again. So chances came up. We had the move. Possibility, no love. And then a break to the downside. Look, it did it again. This is the shoulder, a head, and it is head and shoulders central. Everywhere you look, there's a head and shoulder. Bullish divergence need not apply, please. You know what I mean? And we are in the chunky chop, chiseled chunk. And just more downside. I would keep making bear flags now. You know, show me it's got to do something different. It's got to make the inverted head and shoulder. It's got to do it. CRBLF, Cresco Labs out of Chicago. Thank you. Shout out to George Wingard. He will be your Wingard. Tosh should be playing if your shirt is not, and vice versa. God bless you. You should do whatever makes you happy, my man. If I listened to you on my YouTube channel about how to wear a tie and a shirt, I'd be out of my mind. I wear whatever I want, whenever I want. Plain tie, square tie, this tie, switch tie. It does not matter. I agree. Sometimes it does a little, but it's fun. Yeah. Think about it. If I listen to you. If I follow the rules. Think about where I'd be if I actually follow the rules. My God. Definitely not here listening to you. So God bless you, man. The fact that I actually got to hear you say that means I didn't do what I was supposed to do, and I made it. I didn't follow 95% of people. God bless you, brother. You just solidified my life, man. Thank you. I love it, man. I love it. Sammy wears pants whenever he wants. Yeah, don't tell me when to wear the pants. Don't tell me when to wear my pants and how to wear my shirt. Jerome Powell does not drop rates this year. What is your Bitcoin price prediction? I mean, we could go back to 89K. But I don't try to get too crazy with that, but it's possible. Let's take a look at CRLBF. If that's what you want to do. No, it's fine. Cresco Labs looks interesting. Looks like it definitely bottomed here. Getting a bit of a bounce, showing what's called a bullish rectangle. It's a known pattern. See the W on the 4-hour time frame? See it above the 200 moving average? We just got a golden cross. Golden cross says you're going to be here. You might don't, but it says you're going to be here. You could do, the worst case scenario, it looks like shoulder, shoulder. Maybe you make it one of these. You end up having to do this. But you could just bounce right out of this double bottom too as well on the 4-hour time frame. Daily looks nice. I look for the daily 21 to catch up, and then that thing could boom. I like what I'm seeing. This tells me yes. Stop loss below the daily 200 moving average. You're front running a golden cross. It looks like it's definitely going to come. And again, look at that Adam and Eve here, which you're destined to break out from and continue to. So I like what I'm seeing. This looks good. It has everything written over it that I go for. You're learning from me. It looks like you're definitely. I love this. People learn from me. Then I get I get a super chat, and I can tell the super chat resembles something that they're learning from me, and they just want to kind of see that solidified. Now it's starting to look pretty spot on to me. Solidify with the tight moving averages. 1 hour may have to reset, likely. May not be the perfect entry just yet, but it's definitely worth looking at. Sam, people that ask you for your pants never wear pants or wear funny pants. Right? Could do the stream while working out like Casper does. Oh my God. My former German girlfriend demanded that I work on my car in nice clothes. Note, I said former. People show up here for 2 weeks and feel like they have the right to tell Sammy how to dress or what to charge. Just enjoy the stream. Hey, it's all good, man. There's great people here. All the best people in the live in the world, man. They come to this stream. Shout out to the 1,400 beautiful people here. It's still the summer. They're not back to school on the Northeast, right? They don't go back till like September 3rd, 6th, 7th, 8th, like that, after Labor Day. So up there in New Hampshire, up there in Boston, up there in Maine, they're not back to school. We've been back to school for 2 weeks already, right? Wearing socks and shoes? Never. Why would I wear socks and shoes? I'm on a stand-up desk at a stand-up, you know what I mean? I'm always barefoot like Bruce Lee. The group in the stream is the greatest. Thank God for Sammy. Shout out to Taylor Murphy and everyone that appreciates the services. And if you want to jump on into the trading group, go to cryptolifer.com to find out more. Subscribe to the monthly, the quarterly, or the yearly subscription service. You can learn about me, read about what got me where I am, what makes me tick a little bit, my story, and how it all began. Jump on in today to find out more at cryptolifer.com. Attempting that inverted, but I have no faith. I'm the guy that plays the reversal more than anyone you've met. I called the reversal 2 Saturdays ago. Remember that time? We got it. This time, it just, no. I don't see the same signals. I fail every time we get a move that I go for. You have to get the progressing. So the 1 minute crosses the 200 moving average. Then you got to get the 3. Then the 5 minute has to cross to pull the 21. When that happens, it tells you the bears are in control, and then you can see a head and shoulder pattern yet again. I've never seen so many head and shoulders almost every time frame. It's everywhere. Sloppy, slumpy, sloppy chop. Right? You're at a stand-up beach, baby. Yep. Don't tell me where to wear my pants, broski. I'm near Tucson. The heat is killing me this year. It's hot here in Sarasota, Florida. It is absolutely unbelievably hot. Yeah. Like insane. 89 degrees today. Feels like 90. Feels like 99, it says, though. The humidity is out of control. Tomorrow will be 90. Next few days will be 85, 86, 87, 90, 80. It's between 86, 89. Feels like 100 degrees every day of the week. The humidity is out of control. Last night, you could, in the middle of the night, at like 1 in the morning, you could cut the humidity with a butter knife. Like, it was just, I'm telling you, man, the air was thick. Come to southwest Florida near the Gulf. Oh my gosh. You will burn. The humidity will burn your face. Anyway, I'm learning the hard way, man. It is hot out here in Florida. They told me it was hot. I was like, my first summer, I was like, it ain't that bad. I got through it. I guess because I was forced to get through it, I was able to mentally, but man, now I'm like, wow, it's hot. Someone said, I lived in Florida 20 years, man. I still don't get used to that heat. And I can almost believe them now because some days it's just like you walk to the car and just die. And the car is like 7 feet away. You know what I mean? So again, my strategy hasn't been playing out. Why? Because I play the reversal of the 200 moving average of the 1 minute. Look what they did to me since Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Look at this. They played with my signal over and over again. A couple times it played out. But I never got the follow through. I never got my measured moves. This flag did not play out. You see what I'm saying? This flag did not play out. Like nothing. It seemed like nothing went. Nothing. It was weird. Like this flag did not play out. I've never seen so many just, a couple inverted head and shoulders, reversals. Just buying when we crossed the 200. Did play out a few times, but you didn't get any follow through. And constant rejections by the 5 minute 200 moving average. So for me, it's funny, and this will happen to everybody in your life, and it's something I wanted to talk about. Like, you'll have an amazing strategy. It'll work, and then there'll be a time where that, for whatever reason, in that section of time, in that where the way the price action is working, your strategy will struggle. You don't put more money, you don't keep going at it, you don't revenge trade, you don't get pissed, you back off. You back off from the market. It can get you angry. It can get you frustrated. Why? Because here's the deal. What if you're constantly profitable and most of the time you're hitting it and you have good, and all of a sudden those probabilities flip on you. You feel powerless. You feel upset. It can really get you going. It got me going a little bit, right? Because I'm like, wait, I'm used to hitting this trade. Lost it. I'm used to hitting this trade. Or I have to cut them off early. Like no follow through. And you're like, it can be frustrating, right? And now if you didn't know how to trade, you'd almost just be like, oh, whatever. But because you're good at trading, it can get you to almost be like, hey, I'm going to show them, I know how to do it. And I've learned to even today, I told my group, I'm like, I'm backing off a little bit. I'm not going to be doing what I'm doing. I'm not going to be as aggressive today. They're playing games. Look, they wicked the 1 hour now back inside, though. They didn't take out the low here at 112.7. UMA, please. Much respect. Greetings from Poland. Shout out to B Soldier. Let's look at UMA for my man. Thank you so much for the super chats. They're keeping me alive right now. When the market throws me through a loop, you guys throw me those super chats. They get my mind going. They get me to focus on other stuff. And I feel productive and moving. So thank you so much. Please send it a super chat if you don't want me to go insane. I'd appreciate it. For my mental stability, it would be nice. Yeah, just super chat me all throughout the stream. Get me out of my head. No, I'm just... Sam Price, the Mental Trading Channel. UMA looks pretty ugly to me, to be honest. It's got low liquidity. The candles are not thick. The daily just got above the 200 moving average, but a lot of wick. You got this cool little uptrend, but you're tight. See? I mean, chance you could break out. You're looking for it to kind of consolidate and pump. First measured move is 212, though. There's your resistances, too. Looks like it could happen. I'm not a huge fan. We love you. Shout out to Reliable J. God bless you, man. Thank you. Okay. Forget about sweating. Daily filth. I know, yeah. I know for sure, right? Forget about sweat and daily filth. I know how much construction laborers be proud of embracing the heat and the sun. I know, right? I see the people landscaping out here at 12:30, 1 o'clock in the middle of the heat. And they're out there with the machinery that's hot. It's on the back, right? They got long pants and shirts on because they got, you know what I mean? And they're out there with the hats. It's insane. Love the dry heat. This ain't no dry heat. Yeah, this is extensive. Humidity. Can you share your thoughts on Ethereum? Yeah, let's take a look at Ethereum. And let's break it down. I love this guy. He said, why no clean charts? They're so much better. These people are funny to me, right? just come to the channel. Whenever I look at a chart, the first thing I look at is at a naked chart, all by itself with nothing else. The VRVP's up there, that's fine. And we got you through all these moments in here in time. We remember this trade here for ETH? The bouncing. Even this little flag here was actual. It's crazy how low ETH got just in April. It's weird, right? ETH went back to $1,300. And then it just went an absolute uptrend tear. So the first thing you want to see is that ETH has this beautiful resistance at about $4,000. I'll go to the weekly, sorry. There we go. $4,000 resistance on Ethereum. Looks like it may have to make a giant right shoulder, right? And then it could break on out. Maybe it has to come and test the low at 3,500. It would take out every single liquidation. It would liquidate the heck out of the world there. It would be massive. I'll wait for the 21-day moving average. 2850 resistance at 3,900. I mean, the weekly is really far from the 21, which tells me that we have consolidation to do, right? If it's bullish, it says we go sideways for the next 6 weeks. At least, let's take a look. Go up to the plus sign, hit shift, and move sideways. 63 days, 2 months. October 20th. No rate cut, right? And then they do an emergency one. Or in the October meeting, we get the rate cut. That's kind of what it's saying. Seriously, bro, you help a lot of people. Get out of your head. God bless you, man. Thank you so much. Rave Song Records. God bless you. No, but what I wanted to talk out loud is that because don't we all go through that as humans? So sometimes I even go over, like I'm not even going through that right now, but I'll talk about when I did in my mind for everyone because I know don't we all go through it? No human being is like perfect 365 days a year. Spot on. I mean, I do a dang good job, but working out really keeps it intact. Without working out, I wouldn't be able to be as consistent. There's no way. You're helping me learn. Shout out to Servando Estrada. God bless you, man. This market has really killed me inside, too. It's been ruthless and conniving, and they played the charts against us. Shout out to Hank Solman. Thanks for posting the workout video in the Life for Ideas section on Discord. Mustering up the courage to tackle it. Go after it. I did that workout today. And I didn't do it 100%. I did about 90, and I skipped a few things because I looked at the charts while I did it. I got to get more focused. But I did, I was sweating, and I pushed myself. If you pay for class but can't afford, is there recording? 100% you can get a recording, and you can show up anytime you can in the next few months, where you find it applicable. And we'll put you right in there. We'll say, oh, yeah, we see that you paid. We'll slide you. We love just helping people out. We don't do any of that. Like, oh, you missed it. Pay again type of stuff. We don't do that. Ethereum looks like it just has to form a flag on the weekly, really. And we can come back to it after that. Like, same thing here with the 3-day chart. Like, don't be surprised if it makes kind of this right shoulder, dumps back down, goes up and down, does a lot of crazy chop. You got the golden cross coming, which is strong. And fine, consolidate. Just please stay above 4,000. The daily here, too, as well, doesn't look amazing. I gotta be honest with you. Let's be honest. Shoulder, kind of head, right shoulder. Looks like it's rolling over with a lower high here. I'm gonna get rid of the projections because that's a projection for now. It doesn't really do much for us. But you want to always, have a chart on the weekly open. Maybe, what I like to do is have a Coinbase USDT chart and then have another chart. If you're bullish, it does still look like we may have to come right back down somewhere here to test $3,900. Before we get all the way up to about, $5,700 too. So, man, it does not look amazing here for Bitcoin. I gotta be completely honest here. Come visit Freshly Cool Huntington Beach. Temperature always 70 to 80, and there's so many fun. Gen Z, you're funny, man. H-bar is cooked, my boy. Joy the 99. Customer service is the best. The wifer is amazing. Thank you, Servando Estrada, for saying that. So again, I mean, you kind of have a low here, a high. You're making lower highs. You may test a double bottom, but it looks like you're going to be coming back to test 4,000. Am I wrong here? Look, I mean, you got extended. You're testing the 21 on the 4 hour. You're kind of at a have to moment here. Like, Ethereum has to break out this flag. You got to get a pump out the flag for ETH. 4,551. If you can't get a move out the flag, you're in trouble. Right? I mean, you could see ETH making a right shoulder. This being a shoulder, this being a head, this being a right shoulder, and coming back down. And you can see it would want to come back and test it with the trend line and at least hit this level here. You can see that little bounce. High volume node, 4,000. It loses 4,000. It's back to $3,600, $3,700, and then 34 right there, 3,391. I'm not saying this is happening for sure. Could we go shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder, dig in? Yeah, but I just, you got to. So my thing is, I would not be bullish on ETH or be able to open up a long on ETH till it got back above 43,360. Right here is where because then, okay, you've made a higher low above the previous two resistances. You can almost look at it like it's an M there, see? So major resistance for Ethereum at 43.60, $4,360. Can't seem to get back above that level. That's a problem for Ethereum. And so this could make a shoulder, a head, a little right shoulder there, reject the POC, and then come right back down somewhere to $4,000. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just showing you. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, yeah. A little bit of support here at, yeah, exactly. 3,938. Exactly what you said, 940. A little bit of support section right there. You can see because we have this area here. But once you start that train, and look, you lost the 1 hour 200 moving average. That's a bear sign that you're making lower highs. Now you're going to tussle the 2 hour 200 moving average. Can Ethereum stay above the 2 hour 200? That is the question. You lose the 2 hour, you're going down to that 4 hour likely, which will move up a little bit, but that's, and you move this together, and you can see that confluence with about 39,990. Could line up with the 4-year cycle. ETH breaks out in 1 year's time, starting a new 3-year bear market, creating this beautiful inverted head and shoulder on the monthly. Bitcoin does not want to close below a 100,300. 113,000. Nice bounce back up there for Bitcoin, huh? Strong move here after the dumpage. Look at that. Attempting some type of sloppy seconds here, but just, I wouldn't be surprised if that's all we're getting. A slop down, a slop up until tomorrow. Liver, can you look at Doge? Appreciate it. Shout out to Braden. A-Strup, right? AI Strup. I'll call you AI Strup from now on. Shout out to Braden, though. God bless you. I don't mean to make fun. It's cool you got AI in your name, right, in this time. Let's take a look at Braden and what he has to say here on Doge. He wants to know what's happening to Doge. So if Ethereum can't make a right shoulder here and stay above 4,200, it's likely dropping to the 200 moving average on the 4 hour and testing 4,000 or 39.40 yet again. That's my word on Ether. Let's take a look at Dogecoin here, the Dogecoin. Last time we looked at it, it looked beautiful. I put out a trade for it. Within an hour, it pumped huge. Up nicely. Got rejected by 24. It came all the way back down to 21. Still holding those entries back at 17 and 18 that people were kind of fiending for when Doge really started its bigger move. So what's up with Doge? I mean, it's following whatever Bitcoin and Ethereum do. If Bitcoin struggles and you see Bitcoin tank, Doge will just fall out of this symmetrical triangle. So Doge is basically in limbo right now. It's saying, hey, I'm in a symmetrical triangle. If I break up, I'm back to some highs at 34. Things are going well. If I break down, maybe back to 11, definitely back to this low at 15. So it could go either way. It's hugging a higher low. A lot of guts to buy. To add to portfolio here is better than buying at the top. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I still see a bit of a double bottom here. Higher lows, right? I got to tell you, though, we're at the whim of Bitcoin and ETH, and they both don't look like amazingly strong, like they're at have-to moments. So it's a very high-risk moment to trade to get into an altcoin right now. Very high risk. If you already have some DCAing in, these aren't the highs. You're not buying the highs, so anything is possible, but it is what it is, right? So my analysis on Doge, it's a high-risk potential of a trade right now. If it can bounce and consolidate, it can lower the risk. If Bitcoin can get above a key level and then we can see money shift into altcoins, it can lower the risk. Right now, the risk is pretty dang high on altcoins, and this is one of the main altcoins, so for sure. 34 cents would be the region that we're looking for if we do break out. I'm more bearish than bullish because you have a head and shoulder, you're below the 200 moving average, and you've been struggling. But who knows? Omar Lopez asks about JASMY. Let's take a look at EP13 and JASMY. So many people will be shaken out today. Anything is possible. I'm going to be here no matter what. Are you with me? Put a 333 if you're going to be in this market no matter what, and they can't shake you out. You're just convinced that you'll be here till 2030. I'll be here till 2030 no matter what. Funny, I love this coin. I own it. Nice that we doubled up yesterday, right? From 70 all the way back to 180, even more than the double up. Held the double up too at 160 and now going very, very tight. This looks like it could pump with a 1 hour time frame. It's very high risk after a pump. Anything is possible. It definitely could stop hunt too, like it's been sketchy. Look at all the 333. Look at all the people that aren't going nowhere. Look at all the crypto lifers. People that are in for life. You see that, market makers? You see that, institutions? We're not going anywhere. Whether we're too stubborn, too crazy, in too long, I'm here till Bitcoin pass 1.5 mil, 100%. They're going to wait till 2031 to pump it. Hey, it's possible. We ain't moving to stable yet, my man. Shout out to Billy Bob Lee Swagger in the house. Look at all these strong-minded lifers. Sam, going to learn from you here on out. Hey, God bless you. Thank you. McDonald's free Wi-Fi live in my car. I won't go back being a corpse slave. I love you, man. Get that Wi-Fi, bro. Snatch that corporate Wi-Fi. God bless you. I'm on my third Bitcoin run. Suffice it to say, I love what you do, Sam. Just avert most of the time. Congrats to the best YouTube technical analyst in the game. Thank you, D-Fox Crypto Lifer. We love you, man. Whales can try. They may take our, right? I will stack till they give me my cash, brother. Sam, wish you all the best. God bless everybody out there. That was a nice moment on this channel. So tightness on API 3. Looks like you could do some damage here to the upside for showsies. Next target would be 276. I'm happy I own the coin. We'll hold to zero even though they can't stop crypto 100%. And let's take a look at JASMY, JASMY. I've been holding this coin for, I believe, 2 years now. Let's talk about it hanging with Samsung or Sony Corp, right? One of the two. I think it was Samsung. JASMY and Samsung. I don't know. I don't want to outspeak, but that was all that was the hype. I mean, beautiful pump, right? It went from that low at 4.4. Had two beautiful pumps. The March of 2024 were a lot of coins pumped. But then its own couple pumps after that. Went to a high of about almost 6 cents. To collapse that down and now kind of make what looks to me like consolidation. Attempting a bit of an Adam and Eve there, as you can see too. Like that could be the Adam and that could be the Eve. But just consolidating for a long period of time. Like seriously, like wow. Like talk about boring, right? And I've owned this coin. I'm saying it's been tough. It's not always the way you think it's going to go in investing. You take your time. Again, and I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as a financial advice. It takes its toll over time. And either you're willing to go for it or you're not. I mean, this looks bearish to me. A lower high. Back below the 200 moving average on the daily. It doesn't look amazing. Sorry, my finger slipped there. Yeah, it doesn't look amazing to me at all. Like, I'm like, dang, I got to hold this thing now, right? I'm still in it. And, you know, as long as it stays above, let's just say 11921, I'm okay. That's a higher low. But it's got, you know, that's what we got to see for sure. So, I don't know. Tough times ahead for JASMY unless it can kind of get its ish together and get tight here. And again, watching Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I hold altcoins with the conviction that we will have an alt season at one point. You are higher than you used to be. So for whatever reason, you're making consolidation way higher than the previous low. That's a bullish sign. But like, you know, in the macro grand scheme of things, that we know is going to take a long time. So JASMY's just a wait and hold for me. And, you know, get back above the daily 200 would make me feel a lot more comfortable about holding JASMY for sure. Not amazing where it's sitting right now. Great place to accumulate, right? You don't want to buy premiums, but dang. Lifers are too stubborn to be shaken out. If you're here, I'm here. Shout out to my man. God bless you. We got a good crew. I will hold zero till they can't stop crypto 100%. Sam, have you heard of Arbitrum? Yeah. What's losing its moving averages is not falling. Only pattern it ever does this one. And it does once every bull run. Shout out to Coley Fun and Fam. I don't know what he's saying, but hey, I think what you're saying, I think I'm catching your drift, yeah. I can nearly bet my life Bitcoin is worth at least $1 million a coin sometime before year 2040. You can travel to other countries and do geographic arbitrage with cryptos. That can help you to save. Interesting. Someone asked about POPCAT. I like POPCAT. Every time I traded it, it was interesting. We actually made some good gains, so... It's like everything else. Everything is watching Bitcoin right now and ETH. And ever since Bitcoin hit that all-time high and started to flip-flop, these coins lost, you know, the altcoins lost confidence. People lost confidence in the altcoins. Now you get more of descending triangles than flags, right? Like this thing now has to break out of a cup with a handle back to the upside. It could definitely happen. It's probably a nice higher low. But I just would wait for this to get above a key level and then I'll swing trade it. Yeah, we talked about the coin already, YZY. It did come out last night. It went to 3 billion market cap. That's kind of the biggest news here on the market. And then, of course, like everything else, it sold off $2 billion. Right? So there's $2 billion immediately taken out of the coin by somebody. So someone made $2 billion. And now the market cap's $1 billion. And that's kind of the story. And now it's kind of sideways here and flat. People say it's sitting at $1, but you got to look at it on the actual exchange. Yeah, it's sitting at about $1. So you got to look at the 1-minute chart here to really chart it. And I may or may not have speculated on it. I speculated a little bit. See what happens. We'll see, but it's attempting an Adam and Eve, which would be awesome. And eventually, whoever bought the top got hurt for sure. And a lot of people did. They just saw it and they just threw it in and now they're beat, right? I saw it luckily this morning at about 2 or 3 in the morning is when I first saw it. So, somewhere down around here. And it's been sideways ever since. It'd be nice if it recovers and get a bit of a move. All right. 12 years trading full time and still learn sauce and tricks from the master. I mean, that's super nice of you to say. I'm very humble. Do you believe this could be a shakeout for the alts before a pump? Could you look at Spark, please? What do you think about RSR? Someone says Bitcoin stop hunting. Yeah, I'm done trying to nab BTC. It's playing games with me. Every time it makes a move above the 200, it goes back below. I'm all set. I'll wait for it to find its way and really start to show better market structure. Right now, it's all over the place with the liquidations. I know better. I'm around it all the time. I can see when it kind of plays a line, when it doesn't. Right now, it's very off alignment. So, caught 800 million, sold at 2.2 bill. God bless you, man. Nice move for you. Wish I did that. Sam, I know you said Link was holding up decent. Could you take a look at the chart? Let's take a look at Chainlink. For sure, why not? Let's get some hopium copium out here. I mean, it was above 25, 26. Yeah, I mean, look at that. $25 for Chainlink. Like, really, Chainlink, no care. The only thing I don't love, like, let me just talk about price action. This rally compared to all the other rallies, like, we had these uptrends, then we had the downtrend, then we had the accumulation, and then the uptrend. And usually you never went like this. Like, this is just, you didn't get these spikes in the middle like this. It's a giant W. It is a slanted W. Says it makes it all the way back up to $47. Again, though, every time we get projections, nothing. It's the first time. It's. I can see how it can be very frustrating. You're looking for Chainlink to go sideways for the next 4 to 5 days, make a beautiful flag on the daily, and continue to pump. I'd leave it alone on every other time frame right now because they're treachery. Next move would be 38. I don't see why Chainlink doesn't stop. RWA is hot. It's back above a resistance that it hasn't been above since February 11th. It lost this in February 11th of 2025. It's been months, and it's finally back. I own a big old bag of Chainlink. I bought about 100 grand of it near $11. So where it's at right now is I'm very happy with that. All right. And it hasn't been 25 since it's the highest it's been, you know. April of 2021, right? And it went to this area here at about 34. And then Chainlink was in the doldrums for years. So it finally hit 20 in December of 2024. It went to 30. Now it's right back to that previous high. It's pretty awesome. So of everything in my portfolio, Chainlink is hot compared to the rest of it. It's doing really well. Chainlink and Solana, I bought 100 grand at $100. Those two are up over $200,000 for me, holding me down. Thank the, you know, or I mean a little under like 190, 180, but dang, right? So it's not all bad. And then Bitcoin's up pretty big too, if you got in when I did throughout the last few years. So we're doing good in that sense. But it's taken a long time and it hasn't been perfect. Right? Can we check out GameStop, please, Lifer? I'd like to take a look at GameStop and me token here. That me token. Medieval Empires. Nice little flag above the 200 moving average. Holding the fib, and that looks like an opportunity. Again, I own this coin. I think it's hot. I believe it could do numbers. Pretty good place to kind of stack a little bit. It's a very high risk, low cap gem. That could go to zero. You never know. But check it out. Me token. MEE. Congrats, brother. Thank you. You're the best. You're the best. I've held Chainlink for 6 years. Average price, $4 and change. Eventually, it started at $2. I've been waiting for it to get to $30. Finally, I tapped out at 23 and took half. Hey, you've been in for a long time, man. God bless you. I did also got Chainlink at $1.78 first time ever. And I did, you know, I've got a Coinbase stack that I bought over a long period of time just sitting there. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Shout out to John Blake. Shout out to Mad Medic. Shout out to Milos Siriaki. Kyle Owen. Alt-Right. Shout out to Caspa G. Shout out to CoFund 007. AI paid attention. Yeah, Mavia is a good low cap. They have a game already and are backed by Coinbase. I like Mavia and I own it. But it tanked since we got it on the lows, and I've been holding it for dang near 2 years. Let's take a look at Dark Coin. Somebody threw out there Lakochi, which is Dark Eclipse. It's on KKEX. It's also on KuCoin and Poloniex. And there it is on weeks. Let's take a look on weeks here. Wow, it ran up and then it ran down, down, down. That thing looks like it's a rugger. I'd have to say I'd be all set with it. Yeah, I mean, the lowest it's ever been. Maybe it's time to buy. If you believe in the project, it's great. I don't know enough about it. To me, that chart looks horrible. Yeah, nothing I can really say about it. Don't have Lifer Vision, join the 99 and get your eyes open. Go to CryptoLifer.com to find out more. And hit the subscribe button if you want to learn more and join the Discord. You can also jump into the exchanges where I trade and also just accumulate spot. Weeks, Bitfinex, BTC.C, and MEXC. MEXC has the least fees of any exchange in the game. MEXC, the link is in the description. I love MEXC. You can sign up to Mexi today if it's applicable in your area and go from there. Weeks is awesome, amazing too as well. Finally, back below 113,000. Bitcoin struggling in Dublin. Look, symmetrical triangle. These mainly dump to the downside. I see a dump down to 112, 140 for Bitcoin. And look at the liquidations too, still hugging us at 115,000. But wow, we got 111 big red too. Looks like we got to go clean up on 111. Then maybe we'll come back to 115. But right now, 111 is a little closer and deep red. Looks like we got to clean it up there at 111,000. I see Bitcoin dumping down to 112, 129. This is the target. So I see a short now. I mean, the shorts are in control at this point. There's no reason to even think. Like, longing now is just foolish in my humble opinion. And I'm the guy that always goes after the legendary longs. I am always like, there it is, right? You've never seen a guy go after longs like me. I'm defeated. They beat me down. And so now, you know, I flip. Sam, what's your thoughts on cold storage versus Coinbase? If you're holding long term, I like staking as well. You know, it all depends. I like that idea. I think there's just a different. There's got to be a little bit of a variety, maybe, in diversity in storage too. You know, some cold storage, some Coinbase. I've had a Coinbase account for years, but they go hard trying to send you fake emails. You click one of them one time, you never know what can happen. You got to watch your staff. You got to watch your family. You got to be really careful. For me specifically, right? Yeah. Yes, Servando, 100%. It's all true for me. GameStop, best play in the market. No debt, over 4,000 Bitcoin in their wallet. And they got in at 104,000. Yeah, I see more downside here for Bitcoin. There's a short right there with a stop above 113,186. They're not making it easy to short as well. I mean, not. They're making it a lot easier than long, and I'll tell you that. Link, I'm in at 5, holding for 200. Then donate to the grandkids. I mean, that would be amazing to get to 200. I'm going to get out, like, I thought I could get that far. I wanted 150. I think I'm out at like 50, 60 bucks. I make a $500,000. I'm done, man. I'm cooked. You know what I'm saying? React is holding strong. Dumping like we should have. Yeah, starting to dump. Show me the dumpage. I mean, you can see the head and shoulder right there. Look at it. It's not rocket science. It's telling you what's going to happen there. It's not trying to hide it from you. It's not getting back above the 200 moving average every time it gets rejected by it. The small time frames are showing you that it ain't happening. Sam is as violent as a box full of kittens. Hey, don't get me started. Hey, someone get Lifer a message. Tell them to take a picture of the graph and send it to the ChatGPT and ask it to compare it to the same pattern to the other, nearly identical. And the last two bull runs. God bless you, man. I've been holding Atom on Coinbase. They get 14% to hold the coin. Me too. I love that APY. It's fat. All we need to do is get out of this bull run with some gainage, and then think about all that APY you're going to gain. Because if you got Atom at $4 right now and you start the trade and it goes to $50, think about all that free Atom you got when you got paid the APY. All right? Almost jumped off my balcony, but thinking of you and your story showed me oh, come on, man. Don't do that. My mom died in front of me. My dad died. I went through a lot. Do not ever do that, Flip. Please. Now our Atom, Sammy, you get me to 10, I'm out. I know, right? Atom is just destroying me. Not destroying me, but it's taken years. Well, we might have made our loss back in APY at this point. Yeah. So, I see sideways or chop for Bitcoin until tomorrow. And, I'd love to power through and say, let's just keep trading through it all. But again, Thursdays are not my favorite day to trade, number one. Especially after 12 o'clock. The liquidity dries up after 2 p.m. It's tight. This week has already been tight all week long, And so, for whatever reason, it was definitely a tight week. I just long, man. You calling it short tells me to long. No hate, brother. You do whatever makes you happy. Honestly, people that counter trade me get wrecked 90% of the time. So, hey, have fun. Let's see what happens to you, buddy. I hope you get the long. I would never long unless you get it back above the 200 moving average on the 1 hour, on the 1 minute, even the 30 second. You couldn't even do that, man. We got a death cross there, and we've been down ever since. I'd love if you win the long. God bless you. Let's see if we can get an Adam and Eve on the 32nd here. Anyone who's counter-traded me in the last 2 years has seen pain and anguish. But do whatever makes you happy, man. God, listen, it's just so funny. I just want to show something. I've been here every day for 1,700 days, and I go over the market. My subconscious mind has clearly figured out what's most likely going to happen each time I see it, right? This guy's thinking that I'm actually going, he must have in his mind, I'm going against what he thought. So I'm just trying to, So I just long, man. You calling short tells me to long. Watch this thing dump so violently, and then he's going to be like, what? Love is love, bro. I love that dude, though. I love you, man. You don't know, you didn't sit there for 1,700 days like I did, so why would you know what I know? Right? God bless you, brother. I sacrificed my life while you were out there doing whatever else you were doing, so. Love is love, brothers and sisters. Reach out to someone if you ever get those feelings or thoughts. You deserve to be loved. We need you here. It's no mistake. When God has you positioned. Yeah, thank you for saying that, man. We don't want anyone thinking they're alone on a bridge, man. We love you guys. And please reach out and call the proper services, all right? Thanks for this place. I'm not alone. I'm blessed with all the individuals here. We love you, man. Everyone tell Flip Lauren we love him. We love you, Flip, man. This stream is dedicated to you, brother. This entire stream is dedicated to you, Flip. We love you. Flip, we love you. Like, you're an amazing person that's going to do something amazing with your life. Someone said, I counter-traded you yesterday and did not get out the hole till this morning. Was trying to call the meme core flag on the 5-minute, but won't let me super chat. See, here's the thing. It's so, for someone to say they counter-trade me is crazy, because I could call along. We could go down a little bit. I could almost not get stopped out. We could pump, and then I could get out. And someone could have shorted that little move. And they could have won, and they could say, I counter-traded you. But my trade played out. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it's so easy to just come at anyone and say you did that. But whatever, I get it. I'm not always right. I'm not 100%. I never said I was. If I was, if you didn't counter-trade me here and there and win, then I would be a bot. And I'm not a bot. So that makes sense, right? It makes sense. Made up telling you have won more trades than lost, but I personally think I should long now, and I got my confirmation based on the charts. He was joking about you being my signal. God bless, man. I'm telling you, man, I've been doing this for a long time. I don't know what signal you're using. Yeah. But hey, I'm open-minded. I'm so open-minded, so. Trading is the only thing where people think experts are wrong when they start. They wouldn't do the same thing when skydiving. Shout out to Math Zombo. I know. Shout out to the Lifer Broski. Shout out to Money, really. And it just looks like the liquidity is down there. 111,000. 112.8 now. I only counter trade one time and won. Funny. We're using ChatGPT. So many good people here. Oh my God, the best. His signal is full YOLO, 100x long. Let's go. You stop loss. There is no stop loss. Right. I'm using Elliott theory, man, but it's not a short-term trade, man. Oh, Elliott wave theory. The worst traders in the game. Oh my gosh. The pack of Elliott waves. Sam, those pencil necks that counter traded you the other day on the short would have gotten wrecked. Shout out to Sean Behringer. Oh yeah, when they called the bottom. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you might be right there, Arthur Meeks. I like your timing there. Scalp long right now. CB is buying here. Would be a beautiful little right shoulder head, right shoulder pump. Sideways price action. Anyway, we'll update the group. Today, I would really just be kind of sitting on my hands and watching price action. Some days are for doing absolutely nothing. Some days are for gearing up. I posted stuff in Token Metrics. There's definitely some research in the altcoins you may want to look at. And we'll go over that stuff together too. Tonight is our weekly screen share. We'll go over kind of what happened and where we're at. Anything that I bought or sold or what's happening in the market. And we'll go from there. So God bless everybody. And that will be tonight at about 8:30 p.m. till 10 p.m. So get ready for that. Back to our Thursday night, regular scheduled. And I'll put it on YouTube so we don't have to worry about recording it. It'll be there. It'll be a link you can keep hitting from the weekly screen share. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. And I thank you so much for kicking it with me. Anyone who hit a link, I appreciate it. Anyone who used any of the services, thank you. And anyone who jumped on in, may God bless you. the chance that we could get along here. I'm not always saying I'm always right. Maybe we hold this higher low and bounce. Looks like a possible Adam and Eve double bottom here. I wouldn't short the market personally. You know, I'd wait. I'm always waiting for my long signal. I'm a long trader, long bias right now. Unless we saw a massive dump to 100,800, which could happen. All right. But the market's telling me right now that the odds are we're going down at 112,120. That's just what the market's telling me. I don't make the rules. I just go over what the market says. God bless you all. Thank you so much for being here. You wouldn't know me if I didn't decide to get off my butt one day and get out of that cubicle and change my life. Start a YouTube channel and do something different. And I could still work harder. We all can. There's always something to push yourself to do. Never get complacent. The second you get complacent, that's when things will get stagnant. Keep pushing, keep moving. And if you haven't done anything yet, start something now. You know, life is moving fast. You can't get that time back. You can always make more money, but you can never get your time back. Push yourself, please, every single day to do something great with your life. You'll really, really appreciate the reward that comes from that and the discipline. The reward that comes from the discipline. I love you all. Thank you so much. I'll see you all tomorrow.
Yeah.